Oh, motherfucker! Uh-oh, ha ha ha. No intro for Elsa today. Microphone off, baby. Anyways, with that said, welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave. Elsa, would you like to get back around here? We can do this a little bit more. Oh, there should be sound right now. Hold on, is there actually sound? There is sound right now, I believe on. Yes, okay, there we go. Krown sucks, bro, says Jolo Mode. Hey, congratulations on the internet. Would you like to do the intro? Here we go. All right, Elsa, one more time. You get one do-over, but never again, baby. What's up, Nimbo? I see you, my brother. And there he is, Mr. Rocky G. All right, get in here, bitch.
Ring, 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 Herald Priest again, and welcome back to Krown's magical, hip and trendy, another doll, Boomer Cave.
Yes, that is exactly what we spoke about. Next time you don't... Next time you don't play to the tune, we will be muting you, Elsa. You're out. You're fucking out. I'm fucking in. It's time to talk about some Bitcoin. We actually have a lot of very serious things to be speaking about on the Magic Internet Money today, as there is plenty to go in the higher term timeframes. A little bit of action going on in Bitcoin that is going to shape up the long term, and of course Ethereum making new ultimate, Dogecoin doing the old funeral right now and having some good times. You know what? In fact, I think in honor of what happened yesterday, we should just pour one out for the old Dogecoin crew. My friends, please put your hands together, grab the person next to you, pray, and we shall go through and pour one out for the fallen ones, my friends. Man, why did that have to happen to me on Saturday Night Live? I was supposed to get rich. I was promised $1 from Elon. Bastards. Fucking bastards. The crypto market is absolutely ruthless, and my friends, unfortunately, that is one of those situations where actually I think it's very, very important to kind of reflect upon a bit here. The reason why I say that in a more sincere tone and a more serious tone right now, not to make fun of anyone who lost a shit ton of money last night, which I suspect is probably not too many people in this community, if anyone in this community, but more importantly is you will see shit like that again. These are common stories. They do indeed happen, and you can, well, in the future protect yourself from those sorts of exuberant and ridiculous situations by just either not participating, or for the more slick traders out there, you could actually take advantage of that as well, of course. But with that said, I do want to put a little bit of awareness on that, mostly because you will definitely see that again in your trading career, assuming that you stick around for at least like another year or two. Happens all the fucking time. And this one, a rather big one, obviously, being promoted by a billionaire of all people, one of the most popular people on the goddamn planet. And of course, that is, well, going to be a very, very aggressive example of such things. But at the end of the day, again, if that did affect you, hopefully it didn't affect you too much, and there's always light at the end of the tunnel, of course, and more importantly, you can certainly learn from a situation like this and come back for the better and perhaps pass on that lesson as well. Anyways, with that said, and I don't want to separate myself from that as well either. I mean, I've certainly got caught in such things in traditional markets, getting sucked into the hype when I first started trading, and those sort of lessons turned out to be very, 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 very valuable in the end. So with that said, there's no point in ranting without a resolution in that case, and let's get on to the Krown Chain application over here, which we found at app.krownchain.net. What do we see? We actually see plenty of things going on right now. Fear and greed index ticking up once again. Bitcoin dominance faltering once again, as we do see come all the way down to the 44%, almost even right there. So the altcoin rally continues versus Bitcoin, but Bitcoin knocking on the door right now. If Bitcoin's knocking on the door, then we are very likely going to see a bit of a reversal in that. But until Bitcoin actually breaks a higher term time frame range, I would not necessarily say that that's a very pertinent issue. And as we have been looking at for the hash rate specifically, weekly, kind of trying to time this next sort of big bad breakout is what I'm trying to say. the BBB. I do still think that this takes a little bit of time. So altcoins probably have one more push here if I had to spoil the surprise bit. And let's go check out the open interest. Yes, open interest is ticking up once again. Bitcoin reclaiming the medium-term time frame range as of a few days ago and continuing onwards and forwards with that, but more or less still holding it on the higher term time frame. So we really haven't seen any major things in Bitcoin just yet. And it's more or less, I still think it's a few days here, maybe even another week or two of focusing on altcoins until we get ready for the next Bitcoin move. Anyways, on top of that, we got top 10 best coins, top 10 worst coins. What's up to our new friends over here? Hey, what's up, Scott Carney? Yeah, man. We'll we'll look at the altcoins, guys, but I really do want to get through everything else first, if that's cool with you. I see that someone's asking about Hex as well. I'll try to come back to that, but again, I must warn you, if you do that at the beginning of the stream, it's very difficult for me to pull it back up. Anyways, open interest above 10 billion once again for the first time in a couple weeks here, actually. And let's go check out the market data tab. I want to see what we got going on over here. Yeah, okay, so we do start to see reaccumulation for the last almost a little bit less than a month now. You see this sort of cradling effect on the open interest right here, starting from about April 20th to April 19th to where we're at right now. This is a clear and obvious sign of reaccumulation alongside price action, which is essentially marching up right now. Again, this is not saying that Bitcoin's going to break out like today. I don't think that that's happening. Ultimately, though, this does put in a major bias that Bitcoin will break to the upside at some point, probably a little bit later this month, I would imagine. Open interest ticking up a little, or sorry, not open interest, but funding rate ticking up a little bit as well. And still not anything too crazy. In fact, really just being, misled by FTX right there. OKX even posting a bit of a negative rate, and all exchanges, all the relevant exchanges, I should say, are pretty much at parity. I don't look at that as anything too concerning. In fact, if anything, that would be a bullish signal as we see OKX, one of the most liquid futures exchanges. It depends if you count the wash rate or not. Is posting a negative rate, meaning that you are actually getting paid to hodl longs there. And so you typically do see something like that within a ranging behavior like this that is going to lead to an upside resolution. So still, the bias is on the upside for Bitcoin. The question to myself is more or less, when does that indeed happen? Other than that, though, we don't really see anything that is too out of the ordinary right here. Everything's kind of just following through with each other, and it's really just the last few upticks in the open interest that are really starting to give me another big bias towards this extreme likely being a reaccumulation. So again, I do still favor the upside long term for Bitcoin. The problem is when moon is the philosophical question, as always. Anyways, we're going to start off with Mr. Beaterall today, just because I think this one is the more interesting one to be looking at right now, as it is making new all-time highs in price discovery mode, of course. And we did just get another weekly closure last night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And what happened? We once again closed above the topside Toronto band for the second week in a row. Now working on a third week. Topside Toronto band, currently speaking, is about 3,600-ish region, which would imply a pretty massive range here, to be fair. I mean, that's more than a 10% move from where we're at right now, just above 4,000. In fact, a lot more than that, actually, which is rather interesting. Anyways, so looking at this right here, I do still look at this as a continuation signal for this week. Now, of course, what is my typical rule for that? It's looking for new all-time highs as long as that condition is met. And technically speaking, we already have new all-time highs for this week to open. Now, I do think that Ethereum will both simultaneously test the topside Toronto band at some point this week and also make very likely new all-time highs as well. But what's most likely to happen from this exact posturing right here? Well, we do see that weekly SMI continues with the momentum to the upside, so that is good. Still with a nice positive continuation signal coming into this week. Same thing with weekly MACD, massive new highs on the histogram actually. So what's it called? Momentum is certainly increasing right here over time, which is good. The breakout is real, and this is quite literally price discovery. And of course, the ADX DMI is giving us yet again another continuation bullish signal as well. So everything looks good for the higher term timeframes on Mr. Beaterall. Looking at the 3-day, I believe we see the same thing as well, which closed last night. And yes, what do you know? We have already tested the topside Toronto band on this one. So again, I would be looking for this one to have a bit of a further bullish bias on this. All momentum oscillators are essentially acting within the same guise as we just saw on the weekly, so that is good. And then the 2-day is going to be doing about the same thing as well, actually. Already tested the topside Toronto band, lifting off once again. I look at this as a continuation signal, and then of course the daily is actually testing it right now. So far rejecting from it, but I do look at this as a trend in motion. And what I could look at right now is the closure for today, saying as if Ethereum closes above the topside Toronto band today, which is 4150-ish region essentially, then it would be looking for further continuation to our next sort of mega targets to the upside, of which we've hit several of them thus far. Let's throw in our drawing tools right here, but let's see what the next ones would be. Okay, so this is actually this is the whole goddamn thing right here. I'm going to use Wix in this case just to see what some more crazy parabolic targets could be on this one, and let's just measure it out like this. And what do you know? Okay, yes, we did base a little bit off the 3 spot 618, a little bit of a stutter step right there. 3 spot got this little small consolidation right here. Okay, good. That is good confluence, and we even got the 272 at this low right there. Okay, excellent. So the next sort of targets to the upside would be somewhere around 44 to 4500-ish region. Assuming that Ethereum does close above the topside Toronto band again today. Ultimately, do I think that Ethereum gets there? Yes, I do think so. Hey, what's up, Tokyo Channel? You have a great day as well, man. Thank you for the positive message. Very much appreciated, man. That's awesome. It's like no pressure. It's great. Anyways, so yes, looking at this right here, I do think that Ethereum is going to be in for a more prolonged sideways after hitting one of these levels right here, just basically below $5,000 or 4,500-ish region. It's really not I've learned in my past, really not a good idea to kind of try to guess before it actually happens where that next sort of mega high comes in on these parabolic runs. Just kind of go with the momentum right now, and for right now the momentum still remains to the upside, not even waning. It is quite literally increasing in front of our very eyes, so that is good, and that does imply new all-time highs very likely this week. And I would keep a keen eye on 4,500 and then also just below $5,000 as well. At that point, I would be very cognizant that Ethereum probably does play out one of those more sideways markets, and that's probably, if I had to guess, I'd also be alongside of Bitcoin probably taking a leap up above its high-term time frame range and actually resolving that $60,000 level to the upside and carrying out those next sort of mega targets towards $70,000 plus. Anyways, as long as we're on the Ethereum here, I do want to do a bit of a deeper dive into it, because there is several other things saying that, hey, this could go on for a good amount more. Actually, I want to bring up the weekly BBWP over here. Again, it's freely available. Caretaker's made it even open source as well. If you are programmatically minded, definitely enjoy that. But looking at this right here, and let me just make sure I'm at the right situation right there. Okay, yes, we are. We do see that this is, getting very much up there. We are at about a 96 spot 83 percentile right now. But as you can see, it's really not until it gets to about 100 percentile where, historically speaking, we are at, mega extremes in this case. We're talking about coronavirus dump times over here. We're talking about the last sort of major high in Ethereum before breaking out to new all-time highs. Actually, we're on the wrong chart here. Let's go to a more long-running one so that we can get more history on this. And that obviously got reaccumulated, and that's kind of what I'm thinking was going to happen here as well. And then if we go back even further than that, we actually don't even have enough history here. So realistically, you probably have to go down to the daily to get a better and more accurate read. And same thing on the daily as well. And the daily, obviously being 1/7 of the time frame of a weekly, is going to speak more towards the immediate price action. And you can see right here, we're still, yes, we are in the 90 percentiles. In fact, we're just below 95 percentile. But I really, really want to see it get to 99 or 100 percentile before really considering that Ethereum does have a major top in place. And again, I wouldn't say that major top is going to be like a massive reversal to the downside. I'd essentially be looking for sideways action. But as you can see right here, all of the red reads on the BBWP have essentially correlated with major pivots on the market, both to the upside and the downside. So until we get there, I really would not be willing to call a high on Ethereum, and that would obviously imply new highs very likely coming this week. And I would remain bullish on this, as I have been for the last for like the last few months here, really. Anyways, looking at daily RSI, yes, it is getting a little bit, it is certainly within the critical zone right now. But at the end of the day, until we actually put in and confirm a high and perhaps a series of highs, we don't even have divergence present on this one. And this point over here, all the way back in January of this year, 2021, is a little bit too far away to even be looking at that as relevant for divergence, which is all the way potentially in May. So I would even be looking at this as likely to create at least 2 to 3 new all-time highs after confirming local highs in order to actually play out some sort of a downside move. So I think that this is actually going to get a little bit more crazy here. I do think that Ethereum very, very likely hits probably around $5,000, maybe even more over time. Obviously, I want to see this in real time itself, but until we get at least a few drives of bearish divergence, based off of one of these new highs after that prior break of prior all-time highs, I would really not be looking at this as anything that's like likely to stop right now. That is. Anyways, in the very short-term timeframes for Ethereum, it's just continuation. It's just quite literally a continuation party right here. We do see 4-hour RSI, again, very healthy, playing out that hidden bullish divergence, which we identified like half a week ago, and I'd say that that's certainly played out by now. But overall, same thing here. We do see 4-hour TSI still in a bullish posturing, played out that same trend line that we identified from all the way back in April middle of April, holding up the last few lows throughout this nice uptrend, and I'd still be looking for this one to continue onwards and upwards. I mean, 4-hour RSI still has plenty of room right there, and that is completely fine. As far as I look at it, I won't look at any of the lower term timeframes for Mr. Buteral here, but it should be denoted that BBWP is also even cooling off a bit after that last continuation on the 4-hour specifically. So again, I really want to see all these timeframes kind of line up with each other for presenting a more extreme case, and we're not necessarily at Extremistan just yet, if you will, the dreaded Extremistan, to quote Nassim Taleb. But in this case over here on the 12-hour, which I like for Ethereum as well, we just see more signs of continuation here. We see 12-hour RSI, very constructive right here. A nice little higher low within it. You can even look at this as a bit of a pattern, although I'm not humongously in favor of that. Overall, though, it would still be favoring the upside, of course. And 12-hour BBWP, again, plenty of room there too. I really want to see 4-hour, 12-hour daily all get around that 100 percentile, and then it is kind of like on high watch. But for right now, everything does still suggest more upside within this asset. I know it looks crazy. I know that this run has been very generous, and I reckon it'll continue to be generous right there. Anyways, that's the first time I've ever used reckon ever in my life, and it feels weird. It feels very strange. Anyways, Seto looks good to me. Let's go check out Caretaker's STC over here. I want to see what his targets are kind of aligning with, and yeah, he is starting to generate those targets toward about 4,500-ish region, with a stop along the way at about 4,250 on the 4-hour specifically. Daily is showing 5,000 and 4,500 as well. So I do like both those areas right here. And if we bring up our other tools here, we can see that momentum's actually turning up freshly on our Stokes. We see that BBWP, obviously, we've already referenced this one. And so if we go back down to the 4-hour right here as well, I want to see kind of where it's at. And yeah, it's actually just freshly basing off that. So I would say even as far as the short-term timeframes go, $4,000 is a bit of a short-term area. You will see momentum turn down below that region. Not necessarily that I think Ethereum's going back down below there right here, right now. But if it does, that would be the first initial warning signal that Ethereum actually is going to play out a little bit of a short-term pullback, and targets for that would be somewhere down around about 3750-ish region, and then I want to see it after that. But ultimately, I'm really not looking for something like that right now. This is just simply, as a trader, I need to have these sorts of areas for when I know that my main bias is going to be wrong. And in this case right here, I mean, very few things are actually pointing down right now. I'm trying to find some bearish things for this one, as you know, it's always good to be fair and balanced like Fox News, but in this case, I mean, everything is mostly looking like continuation over the next few days here. Could be marked by a little bit of short-term sideways, but ultimately I still like this one. I still like this one a lot, actually. I mean, whenever you see one of these like 2 to 3 month long consolidations right here, usually going to play out, some upside for not just a week, but, a few weeks actually. And if we go over here to the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing, again, we actually have hit some of our more long-term targets already. We already hit the 6 million Satoshi target, or what was it? Yeah, about 6 million Satoshi target right here. Next one on the weekly is going to be all the way at about 8.5 million Satoshis. And this is, again, extremely fucking powerful right here. I don't see any signals that this is waning on the weekly specifically. If we go down to the daily, this is quite literally continuation in front of our very eyes. I do think this one's getting a little more aggressive right now, but fair enough, because that's obviously going to take a pullback when Bitcoin gets going. But it's actually a little bit easier to watch Bitcoin in this case for knowing when the ratio is probably going to play out a bit of a pullback, as we want to see Bitcoin actually resolve the higher term time frame range right now. Okay, Jesus Christ, man. David Goldstein, very interesting person on the internet. Like, Jesus Christ, man. It's actually crazy to me. It's actually crazy to me that people actually spend their time doing that, which is fucking hilarious. You have to wonder what kind of person do you have to be in order to like go on like YouTube and say something like that. It's like, all right, that's an interesting way to live your life, sir. I hope that works out for you, and I hope that you are very very happy within your life. I'll put it that way, because honestly, you need to wish someone like that well, because otherwise they're gonna go shoot up a fucking school or something, and we don't want that, David. We want you to be nice and normal, man. We want to accept you, sir. Anyways, okay, cool. So let's go check out Bitcoin now, as we do have plenty to talk about with Bitcoin on the higher term time frame specifically. We do have weekly confirming hidden bullish divergence over here for the first time in a long time, actually, on the weekly specifically. We got multiple drives actually coming out of that first test below the bullish control zone for the first time in a while. I really like this sort of signature right here, and I would be looking for this to very likely resolve to the upside, probably within the next couple of weeks here, if anything. Typically these signals take about 2 to 3 weeks to play out. Sometimes they even play out in the same week, but in my experience, it's a bit better to go with the more conservative of these estimates, especially on Bitcoin right now, seeing as everything else kind of, still in their motion. I imagine that we're going to see a bit of a rotation here when Ethereum probably hits that next sort of macro target on the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing. I think that one's just a good index for kind of judging the more long-term of this. Looking at BBWP over here on the weekly as well, we are getting down to levels that typically do denote major rallies. What's up, sir? How you doing over there? There he goes. I mean, look at that, man. That is just insane. Elsa thinks it's hilarious. Anyways, looking at the weekly right here, we do see that BBWP is obviously within the same regions that we did see a lot of like major moves born upon from. Like the last time we saw it down around this region was in October 2020 when Bitcoin was going from about $10,000 all the way to $20,000 within the next couple of months, actually. And obviously, further continuation was very much implied off that as well, to be fair. But I'd say that 100% move right there was the big one, happening relatively fast without really any real pullback on the weekly specifically. If we go back a little bit further than that to the signal before that was right here before about a 30% rally from about $9,000 to $10,500. And then what do we see before that? We see this rally from 2019 going all the way from 4,000 to 14,000. Pretty fucking amazing. And this is kind of what we are, or at least I believe we're kind of gearing up for right now. Oh, obviously the drop in 2018 as well from 6,000 to 3,000, and the big drop over here in 2019 as well. And then actually several times in the past prior run in 2016, as you can see right here, all on some pretty major continuation phases. Now, I think it's actually a good idea to kind of dial this one in and speak a little bit more towards these specific situations right here, because these are very comparable to what we're looking at right now. Bitcoin was in a macro bull run over here, obviously, on this area right here and this area right here, reverting the long-term trend. And we are kind of doing the same thing right now as well. So I'm curious to see if there's any sort of rhyme or reason between these on this signal right here when BBWP was in about the single digits. And that led into almost an immediate move of about 80%. Pretty fucking impressive right there, if I do say so myself. Same thing over here. We get another similar signature, and what happens after that little breakout? Well, we get a nice continuation phase about 100%. And if you recall, the only other signal that we have in a bullish market here, within the context of a bullish market, I should say, was I would say this one right here, actually. Not necessarily this one right here, because the reversal was not confirmed on the weekly, but this one over here, yes, it was. This was really the start. And as we already identified, that was about a 100% move right there, of course. So, or almost. So you can see that between all of these ones, we've seen, on the low end about 80%, on the high end about 100% rallies from these signals. And well, as we are kind of printing something somewhat similar over here as well, I would be looking at this as, something somewhat comparable. So kind of just doing a bit of mental math right here, you can obviously identify that that's going to be somewhere around about 110 to 120,000 bucks overall. Jesus Christ, man. There you go. Hey, what's up, Z-Rex? Peep that SL1 high time frames, por favor. Yeah, man, we'll get to that a little bit later. I do want to get through Bitcoin first, and then we'll get back to that. But overall, looking at Bitcoin here, if we were to play around with those numbers, and if you do recall from my, this was like a long-term analysis video that I did maybe a month and a half ago to 2 months, some of the more long-term targets were something around somewhere around the venue of about 110 to 120,000 bucks. So I still do think that is possible. I don't necessarily have a time frame for that, as I think anytime within the next year is fine by me. I think it's less important to have timing features on these, because I don't think that it can really be accurately done, and more importantly, like actual levels to be marked off. And in this case right here, most things do point still due north in this case. And if we go to the bi-weekly, I think that we just closed this one last night as well. Yeah, we did close this one last night. Now, we don't see anything particularly compelling on the bi-weekly that's giving me any sort of natural bias. I mean, obviously the closure was good, yes, and this just looks like general continuation. We don't really have anything to kind of measure it against, because unfortunately, or fortunately, depending upon your disposition, the last low that Bitcoin confirmed on a bi-weekly was way the fuck back on over here at about 10,000 bucks. So it's a little bit too far away to be relevant to what we're looking at right now. All right, cool. So with that said, I do want to go back and over here and check out Bitcoin just really quickly, and then we'll go look at some shitty coins. And I think, what does Z-Rex want to look at? You want to look at silver? You want to look at silver? Yeah, I think that's silver futures right there. Yeah, but overall, Bitcoin right here, let's actually look at this on CME really quickly. Yeah, I still think that we have a little bit of sideways to go here, to be honest with you. When we pull up this secondary chart right here and we identify the hash ribbon signal, we still have yet to get the buy signal on this. And while while I do think that it is drawing closer and closer, in fact, I think that we probably might even get it a little bit later this week. I do still think that this is sort of a wait, like a signal to wait, essentially. So again, all higher term timeframes do put in the buys for Bitcoin for further continuation to the upside. We can still be looking at, $70,000 to $80,000 target for the next sort of move, and then very likely continuation born upon that. But overall, I'm really not even looking for that move to occur, or like in sort of, red alert mode, essentially, until we get the buy signal on the hash ribbon signal over here, as we identified in the long-term analysis videos last week, not this week, because I didn't really do it this week, just spoke about Dogecoin this week. But overall, my point is, as we identified, and I would strongly suggest that you verify this yourself if you so want to. Anytime you've gotten the buy signal in a bull market, it has essentially taken about a week to 2 weeks after that in order to print itself and play out. So with all of that in mind, I still think that we got a little bit of waiting here to go, but things are mostly or more or less good. Hey, what's up, Jeffrey, Mr. Hammond? Okay, all right. I think it's time to look at some shit coins now. We can look at. I think the first person actually asked about Hex as well. So we can actually look at Hex just right away for you, Mr. Jeffrey, seeing as apparently it's in hot it's a hot commodity right now, and what do you know, actually very well deserved here. Really fucking good chart, making new all-time highs on a weekly closing basis. It looks like I have to favor this one. Again, not a commentary on the underlying technology, just as we said last week, but overall, oh my god, man, this is great right now. But overall, I actually do look for this to continue on a little bit more. We do see that BBWP over here is getting into the red zone right now, but I still do think that has a little bit more to go. I want to see it get really towards about 99 to 100 percentile, similar to what we saw in January, similar to what we saw in the highs in November and October. And that was this high right here, this high right here, not this high right here. Oh yeah, this was not a major high right here. So just this one, and of course the one prior to that, of which barely even fucking registers. But overall, my point is that if I'm looking at Hex right here, I actually do think that it has more upside. Again, not a commentary at all about the underlying technology. Everything in this market gets to run right now, and this one is no different. In fact, even the 4 hours just continuation for what it's worth right now as well. Looking at 4 hour TSI plus 4 hour RSI, it is all it's still looking like it's got a little bit of upside here. And as far as like a bias point to the downside, I'd say it's about 3.5 cent right there. As long as it's above about 3.5 cent, I'm generally looking for a little bit more upside. I really don't have targets to give on something like this, because I don't think it's going to play well with that, and I can't really I don't really see anything that's too obvious right here. All right, cool. Okay, let's see. Let's go hit Mr. Z-Rex. I think he is right here. I see you, Luke T. How you doing, brother? All right, SL1. I think these are silver futures right here. Let's check it out. Yes, indeed they are. Yes, indeed they are. All right, let's see what we got. This is not proper. You're not looking at this. Hold on. What the fuck? SL. It should be just yeah, okay, well, no, that's not right. Hey, what the fuck, Z? Sorry, yeah, what the fuck, Z? Wait, this doesn't look right here. I know that you're looking for like silver futures, or maybe you're looking at SI. Hold on, let's see SI1. All right, there we go. That's it. Okay, on COMEX. Okay, sweet. All right, so the L's and the I's always confusing. Looks good to me here. Now, we did look at this like a month ago, and we said that this was a nice consolidation. This is really starting to shape up to be a cup and handle right here. Here's your cup portion. Here's your little handle. Nice little ascending triangle at the top side of it, which I actually do like in an asset like this. Commodities do seem to play rather well in that regard, and we do have very obvious formation going on right now. Volume signature works out. We do see that nice declining volume from left to right, and I'd have to be bullish on this one, but when is the resolution more important? Hey, sir, cut it out. God damn it. Anyways, looking at so this is the weekly right here. Weekly is looking good for right now, actually. Weekly TSI is turning up. You can see that we do have a trend line coming in from the last few lows in this, on this rally from October 2018 to March 2020 to where we're at right now in June 2021. And we do see that weekly RSI is giving off plenty of drives of hidden bullish divergence right there. So I do look for I actually would look at this in a posture to very likely break the topside resistance of this and play out the measure move. And in this case, you can make a very obvious one, which I will throw on right now. Or what we can even just do is just take a fib retracement and look at the 2-spot extension, because that should be about where it is. So areas of interest to the upside, short term would be about $31, but that's not, the target. The target would technically be about $34.50, and potential for continuation over a longer period of time. I mean, this is pretty good here for the accumulation phase, to be fair. So I would respect that, and I actually do think that this one maybe even breaks out this weekend. In fact, it looks good. All right, cool. All right, let's see. Hey, Scott, again, man, again, when you comment at the beginning of the streams, it's very, very difficult for me to pull it up. I'm not trying to forget you by any stretch of the imagination, man. It's simply just my inabilities to pull back up things limited by YouTube. Again, it is much better to just wait until we're done with like the Ethereum and Bitcoin analysis before getting into shitcoins. But yeah, man, we can look at BFARF now, BFARF. And let's see, we got Bitfarms right here. And let's see. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty damn good, actually. This one looks like it had a very, very good Friday closure, actually. I'd be looking for this one to continue with the rally into Monday. Daily RSI shows continuation. Daily TSI actually just freshly turning up after a resolution above your top side of the range. Actually, no, it's not above the top side of the range, but this one's very, very likely getting ready to actually break out. And I'd be looking for follow through on this one. Let's see what we got going on over here. And I'd be saying Ares Venture to the upside. Short term is going to be about $8.25. Long term is going to be about $12, as you can see. Anyways, let's pull that back up right there. And let's see. Okay, Luke T says Bcash BTC 4 hour. Please, bro. All right, man. Let's see. We got Bcash right here, and we can go, I guess, Coinbase on this one. And let's see what we have. Looks, well, I'm not so sure about this one. Let's see where the weekly closed. Yeah, I think it's very likely to grind up against the 89 once again at about 28.24 region, 28.25 region. Do I think that it's ready to break through after that? I'm not so certain about that. Well, then again, we just got a daily golden cross right here. Yeah, you kind of got to favor the upside, and there's a very obvious bias point to the downside too. What I would say is that if it does break this point to the downside, this last little higher low at about 23.15 region, I would be looking for a full-on test, actually all the way down to about 2 million, I think that is, 2 million Satoshis. 0.02 that is. But for right now, short term, some still more upside implied here. So it looks to me like probably tries another upside move and then probably does reject. Long term, I always hate charts like this. You probably already know that. But overall, short term, it does look like it wants to try another upside move. Anyways, oh my God, man, I gotta scroll back on over here. Let's see what else we have. Okay, all right, we got that one. Holy fuck, man. Sorry for all the people that did miss. I'm trying to. What's up, sir? What can I get for you, sir? Elsa Milky Moon. I'll check Elsa's other coins too. Michael Crook says cough on the 4 hour. COF symbol COF on the 4 hour. Are you talking about like a real stock, or let's see if it, okay, yeah, it's real. Hey, it's a real stock, not bad. All right, wow, powerful, holy shit, powerful. Weekly is in full on price discovery mode, it looks like. Yes, indeed it is. I've never seen a higher price than this, and this is after breaking a not just multi-year range. This is like a multi-decade range over here, going all the way back to like 2000, the year fucking 2000. So this is very unlikely to stop anytime soon. I'll be looking for this one to continue onwards and upwards. Looking at weekly BBWP, I don't think that this one is done at all. This one very likely continues to new highs from here. Could we come up with some new targets or some areas of interest? I mean, it's probably not wise on this one because this one is in price discovery, but areas of interest, the upside would be about 161, 162 region for the short term, and then more long term at about 180-ish region, we'll say. But that can take a while. This is being done on a weekly schedule, of course. 4 hour though is continuation, so I'd be bullish on all time frames from here. It looks really fucking good, actually. Anyways, where would you look for the pullback at around 158 or 160? I'm not looking for a pullback there, actually. I'm looking for continuation here. I don't see anything that's bullish, or sorry, I don't see anything that's bearish here. At some point, it very likely will pull back, and I'd probably be looking somewhere around 150, however. But I'd be looking for further upside first, and then come back down. All right, cool. All right, let's see. Okay, Moose Boss says, "Hey Krown, what's up, man? Ren USD 12-hour time frame Binance. Okay, sweet. All right, we got time frames too. This is good. This is very nice. We got Binance right here. We'll go to the 12-hour, and what do we have? We have a not so impressive chart in a market that is. Actually, hold on. We might have an impressive chart. We haven't seen the full history. Okay, it's a very impressive chart actually. Now that I scroll back and see the full history of this, is there a descending wedge forming since putting a high at 190? No, this would not be a descending wedge. This is a nothing. This is a Jesus. This is what's known as a Jesus toast. It's a nothing. You know, if you're looking at any sort of formation, I've found that formations can work, yes, in cryptocurrency, but if they are going to work, it should be really fucking obvious. Like there should be no question about it. Is this a descending wedge right here? Fuck no, it is not. There's nothing resembling that fact at all, or descending triangle, or whatever you might be looking at. We do have declining highs, yes, but I actually don't look at that as too problematic. Funnily enough, just because, well, actually we do have lower lows here too, which is a little bit more problematic, I suppose. But more importantly, long term, I would not be bearish on this one as long as it's above the last higher low right here, which is essentially synonymous with the 200 exponential moving average. Again, within the context of this current market, I'm very hesitant to be bearish on things. But looking at this one short term, do I think it comes back down to test around the 200? Yeah, it very likely does. Actually, we do have several drives of hidden bearish divergence right here on daily. I know you didn't ask about the daily, but if we see the TSI turn down in tandem with that, yes, I'd be targeting another move down to about 75 cent region, and then very likely another try for a bounce there. Let's see what the weekly says as well. Weekly's okay. Weekly's okay long term. 4 hour is actually showing a little bit of short term upside, maybe back up to $1 first. But ultimately, I'd be hesitant to be looking for this one to break out to the upside first. I think it's just short term upside followed by another drive to the downside, and then the real test is somewhere around about 75 to 80 cents region. Now I would get bullish on this one, or at least I'll be wrong about my more medium term idea on this one if it can take out the high of 7th of May. If it does that, which is 109, I'd be looking for another reapproach of about 1.25 and probably just tries the upside in general over that anyways, but that'd be my sort of bias changer for that one as well. All right, cool. Chess Champion says RLC USD on Coinbase 4 hour and lower timeframes. I think we'll have to go to a different chart for this one, just because Coinbase probably doesn't have too much history here. Binance should probably have it. You're saying 4 hour. Okay, 4 hours looking good. Continuation implied from this region right here. I think we still have a few areas of interest to the upside. Just under $12 it looks like. I still do favor the upside here on the 4 hour specifically. Daily is continuation as well. I mean, this thing can pull all the way back down to like $8 and still be completely fine from a daily perspective. Weekly is looking to me like it wants to enter into price discovery mode as well, or it's quite literally already in price discovery mode. We have new weekly closing all-time highs by a strong margin right there. So yeah, all time frames here are bullish. I'll be looking for one more drive to the upside, probably another test of $12, and then probably a little bit of a sideways consolidation on the short-term time frames. Higher term time frames though are looking like continuation to me. Looks pretty damn good to summarize it up, sir, over the long period of time. But you're not looking at long period of time. You're looking at the 4 hour. Even the 4 hours looking like it wants to test $12 again. Jay Quinn says, thanks for everything, Krown. Hey man, my pleasure. Can you take a look at Stake versus Wrapped Ether? Okay. STAKE versus Derp Ether. Okay, we'll go to Uniswap for this, I'm guessing. We have Honeyswap now too. What the fuck, man? It's like everything's a goddamn food name. Let's see. Very bad chart here. Very, very bad chart. It's gonna be difficult to rally against Ethereum, of course, when Ethereum is in price discovery mode itself. But looking at this thing right here, do I think it's ready for a bit of a relief rally? I mean, typically you will have a bit of a relief rally once you test your prior sort of ICO dump lows in this case. So I probably would give it a chance to play out a bit of a bit of an upside move here. 21 exponential moving average is going to be a natural target for that. But does it grind out the lows first a little bit more before trying a short-term upside move? Actually, the 4 hour looks okay here. Yeah. Actually, the 4 hour is even getting a jewel buy signal. In fact, yeah, I'd give this one the nod. I'd be looking for a little bit of a short-term reversal here. Do I think this one's reversing over the long period of time? Fuck no. This is an absolute dog shit piece of work here. Long term, I'd probably be looking for new all-time lows, especially against Ethereum, that is. But short term, does it play at a short-term rally? Yes, it does look like, but you did not give a time frame for this, so I'm not exactly sure where you want me to go with this one. Natural targets, like I said, to the on a short-term rally would be anywhere around the 21, or I mean, even that's kind of like pretty fucking far up there. I'd be looking somewhere more around like 0.59 butyrols, if you will, and then probably another continuation drive to the downside, if it will. All right, cool. Let's see, Mr. Saeed, Link USD on high term timeframes. Okay, I got one over here. We got $52. Oh wow, man, powerful Link. Yeah, already hit our $50 target last week, but now where to, sir? Well, I think next areas of interest are about like 65 region, it looks like. All right, anyways, you are asking about the high term timeframes. Okay, sweet. You're saying hidden bullish divergence on the weekly. I'm looking at a target of $60. The hidden bullish divergence on the weekly has already played out, I would argue. Whenever you see something like this over here, the move to the prior high is typically what I look for, and any sort of thing above that prior high is like icing on the cake. So I'd say that that's mostly played out. Now what I look towards is BBWP, probably not on the weekly, because we don't really have a whole, well, we do actually have a decent amount of history here. So I suppose you could use that in tandem with the daily, and also momentum also just kind of judge when the next sort of waning momentum is. But in this case right here, all of them are actually showing further upside, and the weekly is a fresh breakout right there. I'd still, like I said, I'd be targeting the next sort of areas of interest somewhere around about $65. and then probably wait for something else to occur over there. But for right now, upside is still implied on daily, weekly. I know you asked about the 2-day and 3-day as well, but I think it's kind of implied that they're going to be up as well if both the daily and weekly are up there. And yes, indeed, we do see that 3-day actually has that same sort of hidden bullish divergence over here. I'd still be looking north, man. I'd still be looking north. This one looks really fucking good to me. Link is one of the best and has been one of the best charts in cryptocurrency land for a long time, and I imagine it will continue to be. Daily is just pure continuation right here. I am Boolah-ish, and even the daily BBWP is not even in the, or actually it is, nope, it's actually not even in the 99, it's not even in the 90 percentile. So I want to see both daily get up there and preferably weekly to judge like the next maybe even macro high here. But for right now, this is just continuation as it stands. It looks very, very good. You're saying you're looking at a target of $60. I think it gets above $60 probably on this next run. It looks powerful, man. This one has a bit of legs and a bit of room to run. Actually, no, you're right. $60 is the next major target here, but I don't think that's going to be like the next mega high, but it probably does provide a little bit of a short-term consolidation. Long-term, do I think it gets up to the 65 plus region? Yes, I do. This is mostly because this one is extremely strong and the market is, the market environment is perfect for something like this right now to just go on a fucking tear. So I would be looking for this one to, hit that target, obviously, probably play out a bit of a pullback and then try again. What's up, La Major 23 KCS USD? This is KuCoin's derp coin, right? Weekly, monthly. Okay. Can we pull up a monthly on this thing? Let's see. We'll pull up a weekly here. Okay. Weekly can work. Yeah. Again, everything in this market gets to rally right now. We got to change behavior as far as volume goes right here. So the breakout is real, or at least the retest of Proton is real. And this is the exact same shit as what we've seen on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Monero. Name your fucking favorite pet rock, basically. That consolidation around your Proton high in this market environment right now is leading into price discovery moves, and I would have no real reason to believe that this thing is going to be anything different, and I would probably be looking for big moves based upon this. I mean, weekly RSI telling the story right here, looking pretty damn good, holding the bullish control zone, so I do favor the upside resolution for this. The question is when for myself. Short term, does it come back down and test around the 55 here? Could very easily do that, but ultimately I would be comfortably bullish on this one as long as it holds and maintains this last higher low at about 10 and 37 cents, it looks like. Overall, though, I'm looking for this one to try more and more upside. Looks pretty damn good here. We can come up with some areas of interest upside here as well. That is going to be short term on an upside resolution about $22.50, and then after that 30 plus it looks like is going to be areas of interest. So I'd keep a keen eye on this one over the next few weeks here. I think it spends a little bit more time going sideways and then gives a try to the upside. Overall, definitely not one of the strongest ones in this market, but gets to follow the rest of the market, of course. And this is looking generally good. Yeah, generally good right here. Question to me is, do the short-term time frames play another move down here first, or does it just blast to the fucking moon from here? Generally speaking, though, if you're looking at the long-term time frame, which it seems like you are with a weekly and monthly, I'm favoring the upside. Luke T. Oh wait, nope, we already got that one. Bitcoin Delphine says, "Dear spammer, do you want warm milky loads?" Yeah, man, it's always a very interesting thing to run across someone like that on the internet, Always fucking very interesting. I've had my run in with a few, with definitely a few over the over the last few years, and it's like, all right, okay, very interesting way to be living your life, and we'll just leave it at that, man. We'll just leave it at that. Anyways, Daniel Garcia says IMMP on daily time frame. Thanks, man. Okay, IMMP. Let's see. Okay, a mute. Is it you want to look? I'm guessing it's this one right here. Yeah, because that's the exact ticker. Trades on Nasdaq, so it can't be that bad. But chart long term is pretty fucking bad. Is this a chain behavior right here, though? Yes, indeed it is. Look at the volume right there. Look at the golden cross on the weekly coming right there. Look at the higher low for the first time in fucking ages right there. Yep, this consolidation right here very likely does get resolved to the upside. I'd be calling any sort of a resolution above this trend line right here at about 350, and daily is pretty much already there. Momentum turning up on all ends, hidden bullish evidence leading into the top side of that resolution. Yeah, I'm gonna be favoring upside resolution this week, probably even today, and I'll be looking for the first target of about 5.25, 535 region daily. Same shit right here. Same shit on a daily BBWP. It's in kind of an expansion posturing right here, and yes, I do like this one, at least for the time being. Long term, though, I would keep a keen eye on the last major breakdown area, which was about just above $4. That would be long term, however. Okay, sweet. Let's see, what else do we have here? Holy fucking moly, man, it's a busy day today, sir. It is a very busy day today. My lord, man, my fucking lord. Holy shit. All right, let me see where I can get a holy goddamn. Where did I leave off? Oh my god. All right, there we go. Pablo, there he is. Pablo, Mr. South. All right, there he is. Yes, okay, I've confirmed it. Please, Roblox stocks on the week. Okay, Roblox. All right. And you want to look at the weekly. All right. Weekly looks terrible here. Absolutely fucking terrible. Now, do we have a whole hell of a lot of history to be going off of? No, we do not. Let's go down to a daily. A weekly is not very helpful here. And a daily looks completely different than a weekly, in fact. The weekly looks atrocious. The daily looks okay, I guess. The daily at least looks good for a short-term upside move back up to $71. So I would say I would not be looking at the weekly right now. I don't think that there's enough enough history to analyze this one daily does show a little bit of upside short-term, so about $70.5 to $71. I'll be looking for that move, and then I come back to it after that. I do not have any long-term opinion on this at all. There is nothing to analyze on the weekly when you literally only have like 2 months or less than 2 months of history here. It's just not going to be enough, and I do not feel comfortable giving you an opinion on that when it is quite literally just I don't think that it works on something like that. You got to be honest with something like that, of course. So yeah, man, apologies for that. I do know that's annoying, but it is what it is, sir. The Gamer 36 says LTC Bitcoin and LTC USD on the weekly. How about we just look at one of them, because it's going to be more or less the same shit. We'll look at Litecoin versus the US dollar, because that's the most relevant. And what do you know? We have that fresh breakout out of the topside trend line, $300 resolution right there after a 2.5 month long consolidation sideways, leaning into this on that stair stepping format. The exact same shit that we see on Ethereum, the exact same shit that we see on Bitcoin, the exact same shit that we see pretty much across the board for everything that is going into price discovery mode in this market right now. And we have the exact same sort of setup here as well. Hidden bullish evidence on the weekly, multiple drives, weekly TSI turning up on expansive volatility. Yes, I like this. It's very likely to make new all-time. I'll be looking for next sort of areas of interest. What is this, above $500 it looks like? Yep, like 550 is gonna be the next like major target, and then long term, potentially even for $800, maybe even $1,000 long term. Now that is long term after all, but for right now, weekly is looking really, really good here. Daily is looking like continuation as well. Yep, I think that this one is gonna make a run for about 550 on the weekly. That could still take a little bit of time, but overall, I do like it. Yes, sweet. Okay, let's see what else we got. Gringus, there he is. What's up, Mr. Gringus? Hello from Hogwarts. There, yes, that's right, man. It's our Harry Potter friend, Matic USD on the 4 hour, please. All right. Symbol MATIC US derp. We'll go to Binance and we'll go to the 4 hour as you specified. And what's the 4 hour looking like? 4 hours looking like a little bit of short-term sideways. However, I do look at this as resolved right here. So any sort of a basing right around the resolution point is somewhat natural. That would be right around just below 89 cents region. Now I know you didn't ask for a daily, but I do think that it's relevant to speak about the daily here just because this is obviously bullish. We can even make another extension for this one as well based off the prior range, and it looks something like this, and that could give us some areas of interest to the upside, because overall I would be looking for this one to continue. 118, sorry, what is this level right here? 115 to 118 it would be the next sort of targeted region I'd be looking for, and then after that I'd be looking towards like 130 plus. Overall, though, pretty damn good. I would be looking for continuation. 4 hour, very likely just reaccumulate somewhere right around here and then tries again to the upside. There's no reason, in my opinion, to be bearish on this one as long as it's above about 88.5 cent region specifically. Jimmy Boss says, happy Mother's Day to one bad motherfucker. Bad thing to be on Mother's Day, sir. Thanks for all you do, bro. Hey, man, my pleasure, brother. And I salute you, man. I salute you, brother. All right, we got Scott Carney again. He says, ALYI. Okay, when should I close position if it breaks down? Well, I'm not, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not your fucking signal, sir. When should I close position if it breaks down? I don't know, man. Maybe it would be a good idea to have that set out before you take the fucking trade, huh? Looking at the daily right here, I don't like that it's in a descending triangle for right now, but I also don't think that it's ready to break down just yet either. I think that this one gets another bounce here first. I think, as we said last week, 5.5 to maybe even 6 cents would be an interesting target for that. Now, of course, I should overlay condition for when to not even be looking for a breakdown. That'd be above this last local high here on the 27th of April at 7 cents. Above there, I'm no longer bearish on this. In fact, I'd be looking for it to move back up towards 12 cents perhaps and beyond. But for right now, short term, I'd be looking for a bounce caution around 5.5 cent. If it does break this area right here at about 4 cent, I would be looking for big bad moves to the downside. I'm talking about like 2 cents. So that's quite the move there, actually, 50% move. move. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, Simpson says, hey, Krown, looking for XMR USD on the weekly. Okay, where's my Moneros? I know I got Monero somewhere around here, and I know that one was freshly breaking out alongside Litecoin as well. Those seem to trade somewhat well together. And what do you fucking know, man? Daily, same goddamn signal right above that same region. Daily TSI doing the same shit as well. You are looking at a weekly, however, so we'll go to the weekly and respect your wishes. Yep, this is really fucking good right here. This is exactly what you want to be seeing in this sort of a posture after a multi-year consolidation, breaking above the prior all-time highs in this sort of a market environment. Do I think it's going to, make new highs after that? Yes. Do I think it's going to make new highs this week? Yes. Do we hit our first target of 550? Yes. yes. So I'd be looking for maybe a little bit of short-term sideways, see what the 4 hour looks like. Now, 4 hour looks like it wants to move right now to the upside. Looks good. I'd be looking for more long-term targets somewhere around about 800 plus, 825 to $900. Jesus Christ, man, these are getting just absolutely ridiculous right now. Sorry, no. I'm wrong on that too. 850 would be the next sort of major area of interest. And then you got $1,000 after that. That's something, man. That's something. Your Monero is going to the fucking moon. It looks like we are already on the moon, my friends. All right, sweet. Bobby Sam Dumu says, can you check out Telcoin on the daily versus USD? Okay. US derp, and you're looking at it daily. We can go to Cutcoin for this one, and let's see what we got on the daily. Again, price discovery looking fucking good, man. It's hard to hate any of these many of these charts, to be honest with you. Does this one make new highs this week? I mean, it looks like we already kind of did make new highs. Let's go down to a lower term time frame to see what we're looking like. Lower term time frame is actually looking good here. In fact, lower term timeframes look like they got at least another drive of continuation. 4 hour RSI telling this story alongside TSI, which are freshly turning up right now. So I do favor one more move to the upside, but this one's floaty right now. So I would really not be too gung ho about these targeted regions. Looks like we're already kind of playing off the 414 right here. That's your short term pullback, but not like a real long term target. Obviously, real long term target is going to be more like 7.5 to 7.7 cent, which I'm not sure. Oh yeah, you are looking at the daily, so fair enough. You're probably looking somewhere around there. Yeah, it looks to me like we get another, or you get another try to the upside there, and then I'd be a bit cautious within that region. But easier to kind of just look at what the rest of the market's doing, to be honest with you. The Gamer 36 says, everyone, please Google the photo of friend Scott Carney bubbler. What is this? Of our friend Scott. Hold on, what is it? I fear what's going to happen in my search history over here. Hey, what the fuck? Is Scott Carney a? Are you some sort of a? He looks like you, Mr. Scott Carney. You look like you have you look like you're a very fun guy to party with. Also, you should try not drinking your own pee because it's apparently unsanitary. Then again, Bear Grylls surviving for ages based off that shit. So you know what? You're probably fine actually. It's all good, man. It's all good. All right, let's see. Hey, what's up, Meccan? I see you, brother. CRV USD Binance 4 hour, 24 hour. All right, man, I got you. CRV US derp. Okay, Meccan, you're saying 4 hour and 24 hour. All right, sweet. Let's see. Daily's looking good. I'd be looking for this. This is very obviously a healthy consolidation right here. So here is, we already have it charted out. Rising lows as long as you're above about 265 region. Do we get another test down there? It's looking like no. This one looks like it's ready to right now actually to break to the upside, or maybe this week. Maybe not exactly today, but probably this week. Daily BBWP, very fucking low right there. This one is really primed. I do think that you will see a breakout this week. Targets to the upside are going to be, your obvious one's going to be at $5.50. More long term is going to be about $6.50 actually. Looks fucking good, man. I think that this one continues upwards and onwards. The question is, does it happen like today? Let's see what the 4 hour says. 4 hour is actually giving us hidden bullish evidence right at the topside resolution here. So usually I will favor that. I'd look for a 4 hour TSI to turn up in tandem with that. But overall, if you're just looking at the daily and weekly, yeah, I do think that this one has some upside, probably this week actually. Mohammed says Polkadot USD on the daily, please. Okay, that is symbol DOT, I believe. US derp, and you're looking at the daily specifically. So we'll go to Binance for this one, and very similar chart actually. Oh, this one did print a lower low, similar to Bitcoin, but similar to Bitcoin, it's reclaimed the range, and I'll be looking for this one to pop back up. Short term to $45, and long term, do we have resolution targets to the upside? I'm sure. Well, actually, we do not, but we have a very obvious range here. And that makes biases extremely easy on this one. As long as it holds above the last high or low on the daily, I'm long-term bullish on this one. Breakout target above the topside resolution here at about 46 and a quarter would imply a short-term move towards $52. Only short-term pullback from that region, as typically see within this market condition here. Long-term, I'll be looking for 65 to $70 actually. This is the environment right now to be a lot more lenient as far as targets goes, and this one actually works. Operates pretty damn well, especially considering that we do have information going back to August 2020, not even a fucking year, but still pretty damn good for what we do have. All right, sweet. Mr. Anthony, how you doing, brother? Monero on Poloniex. We just looked at it daily and weekly. I don't have anything different to say about it, but it looks fucking good, man. I know that you've been in that one for a long time, so congratulations. Looks like it's coming your way, sir. Looks like it's coming your way, my friend. Tom Davidson says he doesn't say anything. What the fuck, Tom? DDB weekly. All right, man. All right, DDB weekly. I'm guessing you're looking at this one right here. Maybe you're Australian though, but let's see. We'll try this one right here and see. Probably not, because this is just a monstrosity of a chart, and this is not worth looking at. This looks like a dead chart, honestly. I think maybe you're Australian, perhaps. Let's see. What is this looking like right here? Again, another just awful chart, honestly. I really don't feel like there's much to look at on a weekly here, because there's not enough history here, to be honest with you. Looking at a daily, however, again, this thing has warning signals all over it. With this lack of trading, it's curling down. I do look at that as the rolling hills of distribution. If you put a gun in my head and said, Krown, analyze this, I'd say down to 39 cent region. Daily TSI turning down, daily RSI giving us hidden bearish divergence. I really don't trust this chart though. And in Australian markets, I do not have a good track record with either. And Nimbo probably knows that, because every time you fucking ask me about one of those things, it's like the chart looks shitty, then pumps out of nowhere. Definitely insider. Anyways, let's see. Adil says hello and thank you. Binance 1 inch USD on the daily weekly. Okay, all right. I've been seeing this one coming around recently too. 1 inch versus Tether. Binance on daily weekly, you say. 4 hour is nice little consolidation at a high level there. Daily still looks fine to me as well. This one looks like it actually just had the breakout a few days ago, in fact. And what do we say as far as the rule and breakout? Or it's not the rule and breakouts, but what do you typically see on these breakouts? You see that first girthy green dildo to the upside, then what happens after that? You get your first pullback. Almost always that is going to be a buy. We saw the same thing in Ethereum just 2 days ago. It was a pretty easy trade right there, and I think we're seeing the same thing right here as well. But naturally speaking, it offers up a very obvious basing point on this one anyways. 647.5 would be sort of my buys for downside on this one, implying moves back down to like low $5 region. But ultimately, this one I have to favor the upside for right now, and the weekly is nothing but bullish for the information that we do have. We can make an extension based off this. Areas of interest to the upside are going to be somewhere around about $8.50 to $9 actually. And does this one have potential to continue over the long period of time? Yes, it does. I mean, again, this market is very generous right now, and I'm generally going to be bullish on just about everything within this market, to be honest with you, barring like some unnatural circumstances. So it would really say something if like your favorite shitcoin is just not looking good right now, as that would be quite obtuse to the rest of the market. And as you already know, if you've been in this market for even just a few months now, the market moves together. Everyone is kind of tied to each other essentially. Let's see, crypto. What's up, crypto bros? BAB BTC on the 4 hour on KuCoin. BAB BTC. Oh Jesus, what the fuck is this thing? Looks like I can't actually bring it up, unfortunately. It appears that. Okay, hold on. No, it's this thing right here. I wonder why is it. Oh, it's backs. There we go. All right. We can bring it up right here. You're looking at the 4 hour specifically. Let's bring this baby up. That is actually the chart. Really weird chart over a long period of time, but I suppose it is okay. We don't really have a whole hell of a lot of history here. Yeah, we really have nothing actually. What the fuck? Wait, what the fuck is this? Sir? Oh, god damn it. It's one of these bullshits. We actually do see change of behavior volume over here. So does this one push through? Look, man, this thing's been dead for a while. I don't okay, what the fuck? Wait, what the fuck? Why are people talking about Dogecoin when this thing's doing something? Wait, what? Where's my percentages? Hey, where's my damn percentages? What? Motherfucker, man. This thing was literally at 1 Satoshi. Is that right? No, it wasn't. Okay, like 19 Satoshis. Now trades at, got up to almost like 450. Wow. Oh, Jesus, man. Okay, that is quite the run right there. That is quite the run indeed. Not doggy-esque just yet, but pretty damn good anyways. Anyways, looking at this right here, do I think it tries another move to the upside? Probably yes, but I don't trust something like this. It looks to me like it's playing in a bit of a consolidation range right here. You got your higher lows coming in this region right here. So I'll be looking for maybe short term a downside move to like 340-ish region, and then probably bounce there. Upside resolution above about 415, 416. I do not feel comfortable with this chart though, man. This is just a monstrosity of a chart. Long term, just straight fucking down. I always hate these things. I'm very hesitant to be looking for reversals on them. I would not to get macro bullish on this thing. I would not get macro bullish on this thing as long as it's below the December 2019 highs right here on a weekly closing basis. That is 470 to the tick. All right. Sweet. Stephen Sly has reached out to this message. Why do you do such things, sir? Michael Mirascata says, hey Krown, what's up, Michael? Can you hook me with some secret TA? Some secret TA? Ooh, yeah, I got that for you, sir. It's called xxxtube.com on the on the daily and weekly chart for CVM. What is this? CVM. CVM. Okay, they got a cure for cancer. Really? That's impressive. Oh, this is a biotech, man. Biotechs are like the cryptos of traditional markets. They pump and dump out of fucking nowhere, man. I avoided these things like the plague after learning my lesson with them. But is this one doing a change of behavior here? I mean, we do have a few signals of this. Yes. You're looking at a weekly and you are talking about some sort of an event that's coming in there. Here's the thing with biotechs that I've learned, and this is like not even going to play into the analysis at all, but the thing with biotechs is that a lot of it is run off of like hype cycles, essentially, in the same way that like, okay, we're going to present a drug phase 3 trial, and it's like, okay, bye because everyone's expecting something, you know, absolutely mind-blowing, and then what happens typically after that? Well, either it fails or the expectations weren't met, and then you reverse after, you know, on that. And this one, I'm always gonna be hesitant to get bullish on something that looks like this, man. This would be a great place for it to turn down long term, if anything. But where would I change my opinion? There always has to be a resolution on the other side. Where do I change my opinion? Okay, well, your obvious bearish resolution is below your last weekly higher low. That is $16 essentially. To the upside, where is that change of behavior? That'd actually be above this high right here. And it does look like it's going to get another try to the upside, to be fair. I mean, we do have a weekly golden cross. It is playing out alongside that very, very well. And it is actually, I mean, you know, at least for the more immediate future, actually looks good. Let's look at the monthly. Monthly is very, very likely to test again to the upside. So short, medium term, I'd be looking for this one to give another try to the upside. I suppose I could remain bullish on it on the medium term as long as it remains above $16, essentially. Looking for a targeted regions, short term about $28, and then more long term at about 47.5. Above 47.5, I would change around my macro view to this one as majorly bullish, looking for humongous moves at that point. I mean, I'm talking about a move back north of like 125 to $130, so it'd look pretty fucking good. What's up, Kendrick? How you doing, man? They're back, baby. They are back. Are caretakers technical indicators free or just some? Most of them are. 90% of caretakers indicators are free. The only paid ones are caretakers RSI version 5 and caretakers STC. Those are the only paid ones. Other than that, he has a fucking shit ton over here. I can show you really, really quickly, which all you have to do is just, you know, type them into the trading view search box here. But you got the Bollinger Band calculation tool, the Bollinger Band with percentile. You got the slew of ones right here. That is the one paid one right there. Then you got the moving average crossover. You got the Sean momentum oscillator. You got the pi cycle. You got the Stoke momentum. You got the true strength, and the on chart version. And then I think and then more over here too. Moving average crossover levels. A few ones that are secret for right now, and then the reverse MACD. So and also some ranges there too. So, you know, shit that we're working on, or shit that caretakers more importantly working on, and then I just give my stupid opinion on it basically. But yeah, man. Okay, you're asking about TEL BTC KuCoin 24 hour, right? TEL BTC derp coin, and you're looking at the daily. Ooh, wow! Oh wow, is this our first toppy signal on this thing? It could be versus the Bitcoin pairing, yes. And I imagine if Bitcoin breaks the topside range, then everything else will come down on the Bitcoin pairings. But we know when we go to the lower term timeframes, is this one toppy just yet? No, I think it gets one more try to the upside at least. Ares Vint to the upside. I'm actually going to base this off on the 4 hour here. 2 spot extension is where? That is at 10,600. Usually that's not going to be like an actual target. It's usually going to be somewhere around here between 11,700 to 12,200-ish region. 4-hour TSI turning up as well. 4-hour RSI looks fine to me. Daily is a little bit concerning, but I do think that it has one more push here and then probably a sideways and down move for a while. It's kind of hard to hate a chart that looks like this long term. Just fucking new optimized price discovery mode. It's hard to hate something like that. So overall, man, I'd be looking generally to the upside here for one more push, and then a bit of caution around those levels that we just spoke about. Now to the downside, where did my bias change? On a 4-hour closure below 8100? Yeah, about 8100 we'll call it. So below there, I would change that around. I would no longer be bullish on this one, and I'll be looking for a nice move down to about 5300 and probably some new formulates based off of that. But for now, I remain bullish on this one. Still looks like it has another push in it, maybe even more. Mr. Lombardi, good morning, Mr. Lombardi. BNB, USD, Binance, 12-hour daily. Okay, BNB. Yeah, people don't ask about BNB anymore, which is weird. I guess it's kind of been like Bitcoin. It's been more or less sideways at the highs, but this one's ready to move again. It looks like to me. I really like this signature right here. You see a nice long-form consolidation between early April, resolved in early May. So a nice little month-long consolidation right there. Looking good on the 4-hour, looking good on the daily as well. This is just straight continuation on the daily. If anything, hidden bullish divergence off that last low. Daily TSI in a posture to turn up here as well. In fact, it will with any sort of a closure above 684, it looks like, by end of day, and we are literally just a few dollars below that, where the next upside targets be. I mean, this actually is a cup and handle right here. You do see your cup portion right here. You see your little handle right there. Looks pretty fucking good. We can make a nice extension based off this. We can even be more aggressive with this one too. So I'm actually gonna get rid of this one over here. That was a more conservative one. This one over here is gonna be a lot more aggressive. Short-term target's gonna be about 70.50, but that's only short-term relevant. Long-term, honestly, man, and this is crazy to say, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing get somewhere around $1,000 actually. Fucking good, and there's zero reason to be bearish on something like this as long as it's above about 620. So actually a pretty nice setup right there, to be fair. Look good, man. Looks very good. Looks very, very good. BNB Moonin, sir. All right, Pablo. I see Pablo South again. Where did he go? Where have you gone, sir? Oh my god. Holy shit, man. Where are all these comments coming from right now? This is insane, man. It's insane. Pablo says, can you please look at AMD stock for the coming weeks? At least it has real use. Then Dogecoin, many thanks. But as you've seen, man, fundamentals do not really matter. They really don't matter all that much, man. Oh, no, you're not asking about Doge. You're asking about AMD. Jesus, man. Mine's all over the place today. We're already an hour and 15 minutes into this, man. Jesus. All right, we'll go over to NASDAQ over here. Actual use case. Yeah, I mean, again, this is a trading range to myself. It looks to me like we just kind of hit the bottom side of the range once again. Probably bounce from here. Could grind it out a little bit sideways, but overall, I remain long-term bullish on something like this, man. This is not a bearish chart right here. Now, there is one thing that would make me look for a weekly reversal here, actually. That would be a weekly closure below that bottom side area. Now, first and foremost, I'd be looking for a bounce here, but below 74.25, yeah, I'd be bearish on this one, and I'd be looking for, big moves down, probably to about $51, $52. That would be technically a head and shoulders right here too, and I imagine the measure move probably lines up with such things like that. Does the volume work on that? It technically does, and yes, that would be a straight shot down to about the 200x benchmark average, somewhere around actually just below $50. So keep in mind that, but ultimately for right now, I do give this one the benefit of the doubt, especially in this environment. And looking at the daily, it looks a lot more like an obvious range right now. I'd give this one a chance first, and I'd still remain, I guess, more or less bullishly biased, looking for another bounce off this like mid $70 level. What time frame did you ask about? You didn't ask about any time frame, so I don't really know where to go with that. Michael Saldivar says, OMG USD, thoughts on short-term, medium-term? Okay, OM USD, short-term, medium-term. I'm not sure what that means to you, but we'll go to Binance for this one. Daily is looking up. Daily looks like it wants to reapproach short-term, $13.50. Long-term, I don't think this one stops here. I mean, you're just getting past your last big breakdown in May 2018. Usually you're going to get a straight shot, or I wouldn't say straight shot, but usually you're going to get a try up towards this $18.50 to $20 level over here. Again, within the context of this market, most things are going into price discovery mode, and would this thing likely follow? Yes, very likely does follow. Hidden bullish divergence off the weekly lows. Weekly TSI continues with the upside posturing. I'm bullish on this one still. 4-hour, same shit. A little bit of sideways, a little bit of upside implied here. No reason to be bearish on this one as long as it's above about $11 in the short-term time frames. All right, cool. Scott Carney says, so I get skipped again. Sir, what the fuck are you talking about, man? I got you both fucking times. Were you not listening? Look, I know it's annoying if you feel like if you feel like I skipped you or something, but please understand my perspective here. There's a lot of comments coming down, and I do my best to save them up. I believe I got both of your comments there. But if I did miss one, it would be better for you to just repost a comment instead of commenting that you got skipped and then leaves me out on the fucking on the lake to try to figure out my way back. I don't know where to go with that, man. I do apologize if I did skip you. Just please rephrase your comment and I can get to it. But I believe that I did answer both of them, just maybe a little bit later because there again are there's like a lot of people here, man. I'm just trying to do my best, man. I'm just trying to do my best. Jeff says RMD on NASDAQ daily weekly, please. Hey, best to you as well, sir. Okay, so RMB, this is. Wait, what exchange, man? Because there's a lot of different things here. Are you German? Are you on CME? Probably not. That's Chinese futures. Let's see. It's not a crypto, so that's good. So that limits it down. I'm gonna guess it's this one right here. I'm gonna guess you are German. This is a chart that I would not fucking touch with the 10-foot pole, man. Why? Fucking why? Oh dear Lord, man. Look, you don't need to trade shit like this. Look, this is a weekly. It goes weeks without trading. I don't have an opinion on this, man. I don't have an opinion on this because I don't think that I just don't trust technical analysis on something like this, man. Look, this thing barely fucking trades. I don't know if this is what you're asking about. Maybe it's one of these other RMBs here. Okay, no, RMD. Okay, my bad. Okay, apologies. I got that one bad. All right, ResMed, here we go. Okay, there we go. All right, B and D, man, always gets mixed up. Let's see. Okay, long term, very fucking good. Very, very good. Let's see what the monthly looks like. I do like the monthly here a lot, actually. I would be looking for it to pop back up towards 214, 215. But you're looking at daily, weekly. Let's see what the daily looks like. We just have rising bottoms coming in from this area right here. I favor this one long term, man. But short term, does it come back down and base off this area to like 184, 185 region? Very possible. Very possible, but long term, I'd be looking for the upside resolution. I'm always going to favor a general upside chart like this with those higher highs and higher lows, of course. But is this one just going into a bit of a sideways market here for a bit as it prepares for the next move to the upside? That's what I think we're doing. So I'd be looking for a few more tests of the downside of the support, a few more tests of the upside of the resistance, and then very likely an upside resolution maybe in the next month or two. I like the monthly right here is what I'm kind of basing it off of. We will have hidden bullish divergence if this does confirm as a local low as well, which will happen by either taking out the prior high of the last month, which is 212 and 75 cents, or if we just close above, let's call it like 197 at the end of the month, I'd just essentially be looking for this one to not just reapproach the prior optimize, but make new optimize, and this one, could very easily make some targets based off this. Short term would be 230. More long term would be more like 260 to 269, actually. Not bad of a number there. All right, Joe A says, hi, sir. RAD, Radical versus USD on the 4 hour. Okay, RAD, USD, Radical. Okay, that is a thing. It trades on Uniswap, and this is very, very little history here, once again. Okay, so you're looking at a 4 hour. Well, I guess we can do a 4 hour because there should be enough here. Short term down. Short term, very shitty chart here. You're getting that nice ICO dump here. I'd be looking for a reapproach of about $14.5. Probably another short term bounce there. Other than that, I don't really have a strong opinion on this. Way too young to give any like legitimate analysis to, but if I'm just looking at the 4 hour, yep, I'd feel comfortable looking for some downside from here. Hidden bearish evidence also on those last few highs. Yeah, I'd be looking for a continuation here. Again, like somewhere around, what is it? 13.5 to 14 to 13.5 regions where I'd be looking for, and then probably bounce there, and then we'll come back to it after that. Rochelle says, I have a bone to pick with Mr. Boomer. What's wrong, Rochelle? Why hate me, Rochelle? Stuart says, Zer, there's so much to hate. Zer, can you take a look at Cardano USD on the daily weekly? Sure, ma'am. I've taken out my initial investment and playing with profits. Hey, there you go. Can't lose that way. I love it, man. Fucking love it. Now it's all about maximizing those, sir. All right, whoopsies, spelling everything wrong right now. Let's go to Cardano USD. Looking good on the 4 hour, but what did you ask about? You asked about daily, weekly. 4 hours continuation, daily's continuation. I'm gonna guess the weekly is also continuation. I still remain with my north side targets, Mr. Stewart. I still remain with my north side targets. I'm looking at so we hit our first one at 169, short-term pullback back like that, exactly as predicted. Fucking hate that statement. But I'd be looking north of $2 actually, 210 to 220. 210 to 220 is where I'd be looking towards. Looks good, looks very, very good, and probably continuation on top of that as well. Again, this market's very, very forgiving right now, and the monthly is anything but bearish. It's fucking bullish, man. Looks good. Looks good, man. All right, sweet. Mr. Rex Dean Valena says, good morning, sir. How you doing, man? PRQ USD, daily, weekly. Okay. We're not going to look at both of those, man. Just one at a time. We do have a lot of people here, and I'm already like way fucking behind on my schedule. PRQ. The reason why I also have to say this is because like someone used to come in here and fucking request like 10 shitcoins at once, and it's just like, man, what the fuck are you doing? Sorry, man, but like you have to have an awareness. You know, I'm not speaking towards you. I'm speaking towards this other person. This guy would like come in and fucking request like 5 to 10 shitcoins, and it's like, hey man, could you have a bit of an awareness? You know. It would be good for everyone. But yeah, looking at this right here, a decent chart for the information that we do have. How do you, okay, and then you're also asking another question too, man. Okay, just one at a time, sir, one at a time. You know, I don't think that you can do a fib extension on this one as it is. There's not an obvious range just yet or an obvious formation, so it's actually you're trying to put a fucking square in a round hole, or is that the saying? Yeah, I think it is. There's nothing to do here. You use the tools when they are called for, not just because they are the tools. In this case right here, I don't see any real reason to use it. For right now, we do have those nice higher lows. We do see that momentum is actually short-term down. We see daily TSI turning down right now, rejecting getting out of the bearish buy zone. We see daily RSI giving hidden bearish divergence. I favor the downside here short-term. Very short-term, I'll be looking for a move towards 154 region to 153. Does a continuation on top of that. I don't have an opinion on that just yet. Short-term is down. If it does want to break those levels, I'd be keeping a keen eye on about 119 region. Weekly, as you asked for, yep, down as well. And yeah, actually weekly helps out with biases here too. I don't think that it stops higher. I think that it goes down to about 120-ish region and then tries to bounce from there. Not as big of a fan of this chart as many of the other ones. In fact, this is the first chart that has not been painfully obviously to the upside in the short term. Nice one. Okay, sweet. Let's see. Michael Saldivar says, could listen to you for a 24-hour stream. Man, I don't think my voice can handle that. I did a gaming stream over the weekend for like 7 or 8 hours. That was actually pretty easy to do because it's a lot more low key. But in these streams right here, man, holy shit. I don't think I could talk about shitcoins for 24 hours without losing my goddamn mind and also all of my hair too. And I'm already going bald, so it's really, really bad. All right. But maybe one day I'll do like a TA stream into like a gaming stream and try to go as long as I can. But I don't know, man. 24 hours, fuck. I'm gonna need like some actual drugs in order to stay up. For that. Like I can't do that anymore, man. I can't do that anymore. You know, in my early 20s, especially in college, it was like normal to stay up to like 3-4 a.m. every goddamn night. Now, if I do that, my next like half of a week is wrecked. You know, the next fucking half of the week is wrecked. But you know, in college, you're not really doing anything too important anyways. So you can just deal with it, I guess. But I don't know, man. I found that once I got a little bit older and once I like started actually working on something that I was passionate about, I didn't really even want to stay up late anyways, just because, well, it's like that kind of takes me further away from my goal. It's like if I don't get good enough sleep, then I'm not gonna be able to like trade well. It's like actually a matter of like livelihood at that point. But yeah, man, maybe at some point we'll see. Maybe when Chivalry 2 comes out, because I'm gonna love that game. Spin Kick says milky Litecoin USD. All right, yeah, man. We already looked at Litecoin. I don't have anything new to say about it. It's still bullish, man. Still bullish as it was just about 20 minutes ago. I really like this chart here. I'd be looking for a general continuation. Areas of interest to the upside, although not like topping targets, are going to be about 550. Sorry, not 550. 500 to 525 region. I'd be looking for a bit of a base there, and then long term probably $800, and then maybe even more. But I really like this signature right here. You know, consolidation around your prior time high plus hidden bullish divergence plus TSI all turning up on expansive volatility, like the quadrifecta of good shit that I love to see for continuation moves. And this one being on a weekly is really fucking good. What's up, Johnny? How you doing, Mr. Johnny? Hey, man, been checking in with you daily for about a year. Holy shit, man. Well, hey, good to finally speak with you. Finally, man. Don't be a stranger. Hey, man, appreciate that. Could you give me a medium and long-term look at physical gold? Yeah, actually, we haven't looked at gold in a while. I think the last time we looked at gold, we were looking for a bounce to like 1800 or something. That was like a month ago, I think. Let's see where it is. I know I have it here in my list somewheres. Where are you? Little shitcoin, you? Gold, there you are, found you. Oh, nice, we're actually above 800 right now. Okay, very interesting, very interesting. Okay, so you're looking at medium and long term here. So medium term to me on gold is going to be a daily, long term is going to be a weekly. Daily's good. Daily very likely gets another shot at the 200 simple moving average right there. Short term, that is currently situated about 1850-ish region, and that's actually a natural bias point for further upside continuation as well. Now, on first pass, I probably would look for a rejection of 1850. However, long term, do I think that it stops there? Probably not. This one is going to have an impending golden cross the longer that it stays just anywhere above about 1800. So I would say that more sideways above 1800 for, you know, another few weeks would be ultimately very, very good. And implied targets, continuation targets back up to 900 plus. Looking at the weekly right here, I like it, at least for the information that we have right now. We got some phantom div coming off that last low, so I am generally going to be targeting the next sort of relevant horizontal in this case. That's going to be, 1850. So short term, very likely test 1850, 1860. I don't know if it's ready to break that just yet. Over time, though, it does look like it's setting on a good base. We see weekly TSI turning up as well. But I do think that this one is naturally going to take its time here. Yeah, the monthly looks good. We do have actually hidden bullish evidence on the monthly as well, so I'd probably extend that target. That would give a target of about 1900-ish region, so very likely it plays off that 1850 level first, 1850 level first. I'll look for further continuation to the upside long term. This is starting to look better and better long term, actually. You know, you have your obvious bias point now for like mega downside below about 1700 on a monthly. That would be catastrophic, but you know, it seems to be holding well here. It seems to be in a nice consolidation here. You see that nice tailing off of volume. That is very indicative that we are going through the consolidation right now. And as it currently stands, I'd at least give it the short-term, medium-term nod on this one. All right, Mr. Mohammed says, special thanks to Elsa and the chat moderators, the real heroes today. Yeah, man, you know, it has to be done, my friends. Massive thank you to Mr. Nimbo. Massive thank you to Mrs. Elsa. And do we have any other mods here? I don't know if Caretaker's in the house. I don't know if Pedro's in the house. But either way, they're lovely human beings anyway, so we can give them shout outs. Hey, what's up, Ian Terry? Long time, man. Long time, brother. Okay, hey, Krown, can we do AVAX on the daily? Okay. AVAX, is this like an anti-vaxxer coin or something? All right, on the daily specifically, monthly looks good. Daily looks very good, very fucking good. Okay, we have one of those obvious ranges. This is very similar to Bitcoin as well. Puts in a lower low here, but reclaims the range, so you got to respect that in this case. It actually looks like it's freshly breaking out right now. I'd be looking for a short-term target just basically around the last prior high, and then areas of interest. Oh, wow. Yeah, we have a lot of good things going on right here. Daily RSI back in the bullish control zone. Daily TSI turning up. Jewel is just continuation. We can come up with some targets based off this right here. These are going to be more conservative targets, but I'd be looking somewhere around about 65 to 69 bucks on that next move to the upside, and then come back to it after that. Potential for more over time. This is, you know, a decent chart, I suppose, but right now it looks like it's just getting ready to break out. I'd be looking for short-term target again, 55 or something. Yeah, 55 right here, and then continuation to, like, you know, mid to deep 60s. Donson, hey, thanks for that, man, but no comment. Where's the comment, sir? God damn it. All right, well, I'll just I'll just accept that in a selfish way, sir. Thank you, man. Oh my God, I have lost my place once again. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, this is insanity day right now. What the hell is going on right now? Go Lucky says, hey bro, I started Resident Evil, scary as fuck. Can you recommend some good games, please? Yeah, man, Village was great. Oh man, Go Lucky, get ready for House Beneviento. Holy fuck, man. That game was not that scary except for that level. That level was very fucking concerning. Okay, Elsa has a different opinion on the game. Would you like to give your opinion on the game, sir? Would you like to come over here? It really scared Elsa. Elsa gets scared from everything though. But yeah, man. Yeah, House Beneviento is very, very concerning. Definitely will haunt your dreams. Maybe the scariest thing that I've seen in a video game ever. Even more disturbing than Resident Evil number 7 at the dinner table scene where it's like the Hills of Eyes all over again. Fucking hell, man. Yeah, enjoy that. Enjoy that if you haven't already got to that portion. Also enjoy Mrs. D's titties. Anyways, Kendrick DeCamp says, shout out to Caretaker. This changes nothing in our battle between potatoes versus Yuka. Elsa, bang those pots and pans. And for you teaching us the tools, word up. No. Get your hands away from my Santa Claus cup, you ungrateful fuck. I see you over there. She's going to get her little musical tools, man. Disgusting. Look what you've done now. The Dominicans, I thought that they were with us, but now they've started the fucking... Oh, God. That is too big to be over here. No. Get the fuck out of here. Zero respect. Zero fucking respect. Todd Brown says, maybe look at RLC on the weekly short term, weekly/short term. We already looked at it earlier. Let's see if I can memorize what the analysis was here. Weekly's continuation, man, looks good. Looks very good. Wow. Let's take a big continuation target off this one. Let's see if we actually might have already hit it. Nope, we're still kind of in a route there. I'll be looking at 14 and a quarter region. I think this one still has some upside here. Daily looks good for some upside too. Short term, upside implied. I see no reason to be bearish on this, even on the short term, as long as it's above about $6.50. But that's actually about a 50% or 40% drop from where we're at right now. So not very helpful, but we are looking at a very, very powerful move. So I kind of got to give it a little bit of space to breathe. But yes, I do favor the upside here. Short term could be a bit of sideways, but overall higher term time frame still very much bullish. Okay, sweet. What else do we have? KT, hello. Good day, Tia. I tip my fedora in your general direction. Thoughts on ARKK New York Stock Exchange, please? Okay. ARKK, New York Stock Exchange. By the way, I just introduced Elsa to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia yesterday, and she's never experienced anything like that, and it's fucking great, man. I've actually never even seen many of the episodes myself. I've only seen like a few, like I've seen like maybe 5 to 10 episodes myself, and I always thought it was good, but it's hard to find because apparently, and now I know the reason, because we watched the first episode last night, there's a lot of N-words in there. a lot of things that would not fly in today's world. But fucking funny show. Okay, so ARKK, this to me looks like it's going through distribution right here. I don't like what it's doing right now. Yes, long term, it does have a pretty good chart. Yep, it does. I would be looking for a short term bounce off this region based off the weekly. Let's see where those bounce targets could be. Can play anywhere within here. I think it could easily bounce back up to like 117, maybe even 120-ish region. But I would be very concerned about this one as long as it's below about 130. I do favor the downside resolution here. I don't like the series of lower highs. We also have lower lows as well. Is that confirmed on a daily? It is. We are also playing below the 200 simple and 200 exponential average. I don't know if this one's ready to break to the downside just yet, but overall, I do favor a downside resolution, and I would be looking at a targeted region towards about $92.50 to maybe $90 even. Let's see what the monthly looks like. Yeah, monthly looks like it's ready to break a bit here too, and that's actually exactly where the 21 is on the monthly. Head and shoulders on the monthly RSI. Yeah, it's short-term timeframes might bounce around a bit. Long-term though, I do think this one does come to the downside. No reason to be bullish on this one as long as it's below 130 specifically. How did you end up moving from the US to Finland? How did I end up moving from the US to Finland? Well, my girlfriend lives here for one. I also just enjoy Finland more. The US is, it's a great place for a lot of people, but I just feel more at home here, man. I love it more. I like the health standards that they have here. I like the food standards that they have here. I like the general feeling that you're kind of closer to nature here in the sense that like you walk outside your door and you can feel the fresh air. Whereas, just tell them I used you. Yes, I use Elsa also. I use her little... Yes, I use you to get here. That's exactly right. I also use you in other ways as well. Kelvin Lara has rejected his message. Why, sir? Why? I just want to have a nice conversation. Oh no, but now you've left a cool emoji. Critical hit, baby. Fucking nice, baby. Fucking nice. All right, Frankie Corsetti says EOS, please. Okay. No time frame given, no base pairing given. You know what I'm gonna do with that, man. I know that you know what I'm gonna do, Mr. Corsetti. We'll go to Binance. We're gonna go on the daily, and we are going to look at US dollar. And this is looking like continuation here too. I'd be looking for another retest of the highs on this run, like 12.5, $13 region. Long term is the weekly continuation. Yes, it is. The market moves together. Again, we see a lot of these similar moves within this market. I'd be looking for this one to give a test towards like 15 and 3/4 or 15 and a half over the next few weeks. Maybe even this week. It looks good here. Short term, is there anything to be aware of? Short term, I remain pretty damn bullish on this one as long as it holds and just stays above this low. It doesn't even need to close below this low, just as long as it stays above this low. If it takes out this low right here at about 9.11, I would get short-term bearish on it, looking for bigger moves down to $7. But overall, again, in this environment, I favor the upside significantly, actually. Nice one, Kelvin. Michael says, doggy short term, please. Hey, man, appreciate that, brother. Doggy. Okay, doggy US derp. Let's see. I actually haven't done the daily perusal on this one just yet, but looks to me like it's putting in a bit of a lower high right here on the 4 hour. Probably another move back down about 47 cents region. You're looking at short term, so maybe not concerned with the daily, so I won't speak towards it, but I'd be looking for a bit of a sideways here. You know, if this really is going to be the high in this asset, I'd be looking for a bit of a sideways action. I want to see an obvious bull trap, and then I want to see this one absolutely have a catastrophic fall down to about 25 to 20 cents region. I think that that's ultimately not even going to be where this one ends up. Probably ends up below 10 cents, if anything. And short term, would I favor the downside? Yeah, I would favor the downside here short term. Let's see what the buy early says. It's not super great. You know, you do have some obvious ranges going on, so you know we'll do a little bit more actual concerted effort on this one. All right, so here's your little last local high on the lower term time frames. That's 57.5 cents. As long as you're below there, I play this one to the downside. Although I would not play this one right now. I'd wait for U.S. markets to open and then kind of look at this one again. To be honest with you, I don't think that you get too much until then. And then obviously the downside of the range is right in line with the 3.7 zone on the buy hourly right here. That would be my target as long as it kind of ranges here, seeing as it just kind of tests the top side of this. Now, here's the thing. If doggy does take out 57.5 cents to the upside, I would look for another retest somewhere in the low 60s, 62 to 64 cent region, somewhere around here. And then plays around there. You know, could it be that it actually does try for another high as well? I mean, anything's possible, but I don't really favor it here. I think that we are starting to see some actual signs of this one topping out. Ultimately, though, I do favor the downside. 4 hour, you know, if you put a gun in my head, yeah, I'd be looking towards about 47.25. And then below there on a closure, I'd be extending those targets down to about 35 cents actually. But for right now, no reason to be bullish on it as long as it's below this last 4 hour lower high. There we go. Okay, sweet. Let's see. No one paper says Polkadot USD daily bonus. We already looked at this one, so I'll just quickly look at it once again, see what we got. But feel free to scroll back if you want maybe a deeper analysis. Yeah, still like this one. I'd be looking for this one to reapproach the top side resistance 46.5 to 46.70. Probably breaks it to the upside too. I mean, daily RSI looks good. Daily TSI turning up above the bullish buy zone. You know, is it ready to break just yet? Maybe. It looks like it will be ready this week, actually. Hidden bullish evidence. Yep. Okay, sweet. Yeah, I do favor that. Long term, I'd be looking towards like 60 plus, actually. But that is long term, and you are not asking about long term, you're asking about a daily. Yeti says, Krown, have my baby. Elsa, no offense. Actually, I can't have babies. I've been snipped. The risk has been managed there. Donson9 says, TML, BTC, 1 day and 4 hours if you can. Thanks. All right, let's see. TML. See if this is even on here. I've never come across this. Yeah, it looks like TradingView does not have this one, Don. I apologize, man, but I am limited by what TradingView does offer here, and TML is not a symbol that they host. So it's probably either too new or it might be an actual shitty shit coin. But even in this market, like everything gets listed, so I'm inclined to say that it's probably just because it's a little bit too new, if anything. But unfortunately, we cannot pull it up. Unfortunately, we can't pull it up. All right, there we go. Let's see. Okay, oh my God, have we gotten all the way to the bottom here? Nope. Still more, baby, still more. Frankie Corsetti says Tesla weekly, sir. Let's do it, baby. Let's fucking do it. Been a while since we looked at Tesla, I think. And what did we last see on Tesla? A little bit of a range extrapolating here. Very similar to that ARC chart, actually. But short term, what would I be favoring? Let's go to the daily. I know you asked about a weekly, but I do want to see the daily here. Daily's interesting to me. I actually would be favoring short-term downside. Daily TSI turning below the bias, the bullish bias zone. I probably would be looking for another test somewhere down around the 200 here, which is about $590 to $600. I would also simultaneously be looking for a bounce there as well. I'm not necessarily bearish on this one on the long term. I think that it's hard to be bearish off of a chart like this. The monthly is still more or less fine. We can have a test down to the 10 simple on the monthly, and that's just the 10 simple. I mean, that's not a big deal at all. Do we have monthly bearish divergence? We actually do have monthly bearish divergence here. So yeah, a test down to the 10 simple is certainly not out of the question. So I'd be looking for short-term down. Your obvious resolution to the downside and propelling like much further downside targets would be below the 200 here, implying targets down towards like 450-ish region. But as long as it kind of bakes within the sideways range, you kind of do have to go with the former trend, at least in my experience. And I would obviously be bullish for a retest of the prior highs with any sort of a daily above our 14th of April highs, or a daily closure above about 755 to 760-ish region would look good to me. But But short term, does it test the downside? I'd probably put the odds on a downside test there, if anything, for the short term on the weekly. That is very likely a bounce or two. What's up, Mimi's that butter my biscuit? There he is. There he is, baby. There he is. All right. Kelvin has another emoticon there. Hey, what's that? Hey, we got some gamers in the house, baby. We got some gamers in the house. I fucking love gaming, man. It's my other passion as well. Got weightlifting, gaming, and trading, of which only one of them pays you money. Todd Brown says, you're gonna hate me for this, but SHIB any time frame. All right, is this Shibi coin? SHIBDB coin? Is this a thing, for one? I want to know if this is an actual thing. Apparently it is. Do we go to this chart? I don't know. Is there much history on this? I don't think there's enough history on this to look at least on Polonius. Let's see, maybe Uniderp? Maybe, let's see what they got. Well, a little bit more history, it looks like. It's better, I suppose. I'm not getting much from this, but again, I would actually just, I'm gonna kind of just filter this one in through the market analysis in general. Look, it's an obvious consolidation going on right here. You would technically have some hidden bearish divergence if this chart actually made sense, but it barely does. You got something like this going on. Look, within the context of this market, most things are going to be moving up, and I'd probably be looking at this as the same thing. Maybe I can find like a better chart somewhere else. Let's see, maybe Huobi. Not really helpful here either. It's a consolidation at a high level, but in comparison to what we saw on Uniswap. I'd have to favor the upside here, but again, I do feel like it's important for me to say, hey, the reason why I hate it when people ask about something like that is because I don't think that I can give you a good opinion on it. So I just feel like it's like, hey, I can't help you here, man. I don't think I can help you. If anything, I'd go with market analysis. I'd be looking for this one to retest the highs at like 1650 and then probably new highs after that. But that is not necessarily coming from this chart. That is coming from the market analysis and most things moving up. And this thing, for what it's worth, the information that we do have, it is consolidating at its new highs, which is typically leading into continuation signals in this environment. So that's what I'd be going off of right now. All right, let me just double check that I got everything else properly. Okay, we are good. We're good there. We got double R. We got double R for the last one, babe. Oh my God, this is almost a 2-hour stream. Fucking hell. Daddy, forgive me for this, but Uni Ethereum daily is the bottom in divergence on RSI. I love you long time. I love you too long time. Let's see. What was it again? Yeah, Uni versus Ethereum. Okay, that's an interesting combination there. We can look at that, I suppose. I guess we'll go to Bittrex. Let's gonna have the history. Wow, looks very shitty. Okay, so you're asking, is the bottom in? No, the bottom is not in. The bottom is certainly not in. Wow, this thing is looking terrible here. Now, could it bounce around a bit? Yeah, it could very easily bounce up to like 0.01 butyrols, I guess. Long term though, I'd be looking for this one to shatter. 0.08 is where I'd be looking towards, somewhere down around here before the next sort of potential greater bounce, actually. No, sorry, I would adjust that. It would be a range between this area right here, this area right here. So that'd be between about 0.086 to 0.008 even almost. Ultimately though, I'd be looking for continuation to the downside. No, I do not think that this is bottomed out. This is anything but bottomed out. You can see a clear head and shoulders right here too. Short term, could it rally back up to like 0.0115? Yeah, it could, but long term, I'd be bearish on this one. Looking for a price action down around here, and very likely a bounce down around here, and then perhaps something new formulates. But at least for now, all short-term upside moves, I'd be looking for them to get sold into. In fact, I don't even know if this one, I mean, it could very easily have a short-term upside move, but it sounds like you're more concerned with the long-term, which I would say no. I'd still be looking for downside. And is there any divergence on the RSI? No, anything but divergence on the RSI here. That is just continuation, if anything. Unfortunately, man, apologies for that, brother. Magnus Berg says, GRT BTC daily, please. Good, sir. All right, man. Well, we were almost at the end there, but we're not now. We aren't now, sir. All right, GRT BTC. And hard one here, actually, versus Bitcoin. I do favor the downside. This one is showing more downside signals than upside signals, but I'm trying to just peruse around the different time frames here. I'm not getting a whole hell of a lot from this chart, to be honest with you. Daily, okay, here's what we can do, and I apologize if this is not all that helpful, but we do have a range going on. Here's your range lows, here's your range highs. Resolution above or below that, this range is going to imply the next sort of major direction. Below this region right here, which is what, 2450, I'll be looking for big moves down to like 1500, or sorry, make that like 1800 to 1700 first before a bounce. And then probably continuation on top of that. Daily is showing more downside signals. However, I should mention daily TSI turning down in the bearish buy zone. Daily RSI is neutral to it's mostly neutral here. By the same token, to the upside, we do have an obvious pivot right here at about 30, just below 3,400 satoshis. If that does get taken out to the upside, I'd be looking for retest of the prior highs here and probably new moves after that. But right now, let's see what the 4 hour says. Again, I don't have much to say about this, man. I'd probably be looking for a short-term test back down around here, though. But I don't have a strong opinion on this one. If anything, the short-term timeframes are more leaning on the bearish side. Dear Lord, man. Just when you thought it was over, it's not. Donson says, lol, is TLM BTC 1 hour and 4 hours, sir? Alien Worlds. TLM. Okay, TLM BTC. All right, so this is Alien Worlds. Okay, it's actually a thing. It's actually a fucking thing. All right, we'll go to the daily right here. Again, not much history here, man. I gotta warn you. Whenever you ask about a chart like this, it's gonna be very, very difficult. We can look. Maybe Binance has more. Barely, fucking barely. Look, again, going with the market analysis, not necessarily this coins analysis. Probably do favor the upside back up to about 1250-ish region. But I don't have anything to say about it other than that. There's really not a whole hell of a lot of history here to be going off of. If I did, it's more or less the market analysis, and I'll be looking for this one to pop back up, about 1250-ish region. Other than that, I do not have opinions on this one at all. Look, man, it's been around for 4 weeks, just barely. Short-term timeframes do show a little bit of upside here, however. So yeah, I'd probably be sticking with extremely short-term, like 1160, and then more medium-term, like 1250 to maybe even 1300 if this one gets going. Okay. All right. Ake Andre says, why does shirt matches Elsa's hair color today? What? Wait, what? Why does shirt match Elsa's hair color today? I don't know. We were trying. Yeah, that's right. Elsa's hair is green. How did you, you're very perceptive, sir. Mark says, thanks for all your hard work, sir. CHZ BTC. Is this Chili's? Chili's? I think it is. What's up, Mark? Okay. Yeah, it is Chili's on Binance. And you're looking at daily. Okay, we'll go to the daily for this one. Looks to me like it's getting ready for a bit of a bounce here on the daily. Probably back up to the 21, somewhere around like 900 satoshis. It looks like. Weekly is not. Sir, this is a Wendy's, says Elsa. I do like this chart long term, I suppose. Short term, yeah, probably pops back up somewhere around the 880 level. Now, there's a very obvious trade here, however, Mr. Mark, and that would be any sort of a 4 hour closure above the 55, which is about 890 right now, and lowering with each and every closure. Any sort of a closure back above there, I'd be looking for this one to pop back up towards the range highs at about 1100 satoshis. Personally speaking, I do think that does happen. 4 hour RSI plus TSI telling this story right here. These are rejection moves in the way that I look at them for right now. I know you asked about a daily specifically, but I'm just getting more from that time frame actually here. Do we see any sort of divergences forming here? Yes, we could. Okay, so if this confirms as a local low, which it has not just yet, it will confirm as a local low with any sort of a closure above the last daily open, then I'd be looking for that to play out, and yes, targets up to 1050, 1060-ish region, and probably another just retest the highs after that, honestly. So I do favor the upside here. Obvious buys to the downside below 770, that is. Holy fucking moly, man. Jesus Christ. TD says, Krown, sir. Hey man, my pleasure, sir. Thank you just for that positive message. That was that's very kind of you. Thanks, man. TSF says, not sure if you mentioned, sir, how's CRV? We already looked at it. Yes, I think it was looking good, or whatever it was, whatever this thing is. Yep, it is still looking good. I'll be looking for short term back up north of 410, and probably continuation drive after that. Looks good to me, man. Looks good to me. Hey, what's up, Mr. Plums? There he is. Mark B in the house. Poop says, hello, Poop. Sir, kindly do the needful on REQ BTC on Binance. Okay. REQ BT. Hey, what the fuck? There we go. BTC on Binance, and no time frame given, but we'll just go to the daily by default. And I suppose I'll just remain bullish as long as this one does hold the last higher low here. Switching into a bullish posturing from a moving average perspective. That level is 220, by the way. Weekly is terrible chart long term, absolutely dastardly chart long term, but short term, does it test some upside? Probably yes. Does it reverse long term? No. I'd see no change of behavior here long term. This thing is on lower high watch as long as it's below about 400 satoshis, so it has a lot of free range to the upside, to be fair. And I would remain short-term bullish on it as long as it's above about 220. So probably short-term move back up to about 300 satoshis. Might even try a rally from there to like 350. But long-term, I'd be on lower high watch. Don't think this one's reversing here, or at least it wouldn't really look like it. If anything, actually, the monthly says down, but you did not give a time frame, I believe. So I don't really know where to go with that one. What about the short-term time frames? Short-term time frame is a little more bearish, actually. But, I'd favor the market analysis here. Probably another try to the upside short-term, and then anywhere below 400 satoshis on a lower high is going to be met with nastiness long-term. Wilbur Smith says, come rocket UST on the monthly. Let's see. Come rocket UST. Let's see. Is this... No! My cummies aren't on... My cummies aren't on TradingView. How dare they? Oh, motherfucker, man. What? Matthew says, can you answer my question? I don't know. Where's Matthew? Can you just post your fucking question? What the? Okay, now I'm blocked again. What is going on with the comments here today, fellas? I really need to get going though. This stream has gone on about an hour longer than what I intended to. I apologize for that, but at the end of the day, man, I do have to get on with my own day. What's up, Derek? There he is. He's not even a mod. Lovely. Good to see you, Mr. Derek. Guys, I gotta sign off. It's been an absolute pleasure. Mr. Jev, I salute you, sir. I want to wish everyone well. I'll be back on again tomorrow, and until next time, fellas, take care and stay